Hello, and welcome to the live workshop. You guys are early and on time, so thanks for following instructions. I'm joined here with Steve Kachi. This is Renita Holyfield. So we want to thank you guys for showing up early. So tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do in the chat. We want to thank you guys who reached out to us via email and let us learn more about you. We appreciate that. We heard from managers, record labels, publishers, artists, songwriters, composers. So thanks so much for letting us know about that, guys. And just tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do in the chat. And we would also like to know how you heard about us, how you found out about us. So we just put up the poll. So tell us if you found us on social media, email, IG, Facebook. Got you. So I see some of you guys came in through Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for connecting with us there. And we're going to get started at the top of the hour. So we have a countdown going on. This will be a live and direct conversation. So we'll be interacting with you guys. Some quick tech tips. You want to close out any applications. Make sure your bandwidth is free on your browsers. Close out any other programs so that you don't have any issues. If you do run into some issues, there's a button that you'll see that says reconnect. You can simply hit that button and it'll reconnect you into the webinar, okay? So we're going to get started at the top of the hour at 8. And yeah, just tell us who you guys are. Okay, I see you. Hey, hey Marco. Thanks for joining us from LinkedIn. It's so nice to meet you. How you doing, Rico? Songwriter and music educator. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. Ryan from Cleveland in the house, student at Full Sail. Awesome. So hope you get that going with your audio production. And Karen from Houston, Texas, singer, songwriter, and talent manager. Thank you so much for joining. I think I'm saying this right. Arwana or Arjana, an EDM artist from Hamburg. Awesome. I believe that means you're based internationally. So we're so proud to have you here. Thanks so much for joining. So we'll get started here in just a moment. And we are pumped. How you doing, Javian? How you doing, Rodney? So glad to see you guys here. Nice to meet you. Producer and engineer, that is awesome. Producers and engineers are so important to the industry. I mean, the industry would basically be non-existent without you guys. So glad to have you here. Rodney has a label in Oklahoma City, hip hop artist and a DJ he manages. So that is awesome, Rodney. So glad to have you here today. All right, guys, it is now 8 o'clock. So we are about to get started. So let's go. So here's what we're covering today. Master the blueprint to getting started in music publishing, how you can master the blueprint to getting started in music publishing, and how you can secure placement. Okay, so let us know in the chat if you identify as any of these things in listed on the slide. How you doing, Shimmer? Nice to meet you. So glad you're here. How you doing, from Poland, Piotr? Songwriter, producer, and label UK in the house. So glad to have you here. So let us know if in the chat if you identify as a composer, songwriter, producer, manager, publisher, artist, singer, songwriter, indie or major, and so on, okay? So here are some reasons you may be here. Some may be thinking, isn't my PRO my publisher? For those who are based in America and the United States, that would be ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or GMR. Aren't they my publisher? Or how important is affiliating with the PRO or Performance Rights Society? How do publishers even get paid? Where do I start? What am I doing wrong? So here are some reasons this may be important to you right now. You've tried publishing your music and affiliating with a PRO, but the results were like so-so, you know. You saw little to no change in your income if you've seen any income at all. You have existing music and you know you should be monetizing it, or you represent someone else's music through publishing, but you're not really sure how to get started. Or you're in the rat race and you're wondering, how do I scale my music? How do I break through the earner ceiling? How do I live a life where music is my primary source of income? Maybe you have or don't have a pub or writer affiliation with the PRO, and you know having one will help you protect your music and earn more royalties, but you're not sure how to approach it. And for the United States affiliates, you're not sure which one to sign with. How you doing, Vincent? How you doing, Angelina? Shimmer, artist and songwriter with a 300+ song catalog. That is awesome. How you doing, Nick? Artist, producer, songwriter, Rodney, manager, record label. Awesome. So glad to have you guys here. Nice to meet you. And we look forward to having you guys in the workshop. So imagine if you earn $10,000 per quarter from your music in performance royalties, distribution royalties, or sync fees. Like, what if that happened for you? How you doing, Lux? Nice to meet you. So glad that you're here. Imagine if you knew exactly where to focus your marketing and it generated over $3,000 a month for you that didn't require spending thousands on marketing. Awesome, Shimmer. They own a full recording studio in Edmonton, Alberta. So that is awesome. So imagine if you established an actual publishing company for your music and collected not 50%, 25%, 85%. You collected all of your publishing income without any third party taking a commission, ownership, or percentage of your copyrights. Like, you're collecting and owning 100% of your publishing. Imagine if you could do everything an administrator could do for you, and you could do it all yourself without spending thousands of dollars a year studying this information, learning at seminars or in a music business school program in college. Like, what if you could find out everything you need to know about publishing and administration in one place without having to learn bits and pieces at a time from different seminars, webinars, workshops, and collegiate classes? What if you earned thousands of royalties consistently every quarter and quickly built a community of people eager to hear new music from you? I'm saying all this because this is what happened to me. Again, this is Renita Holyfield. Awesome, Rodney. How you doing, Sandy? Colorado Springs in the house. So glad to have you here. Okay, awesome, Shimmer. Exactly. You made a good point. So yeah, this is all what happened to me. This is just a few of my statements here. I have my writer and my publisher statement and my mechanicals. And the reason I put this here, when I was in school at Georgia State studying this in college, they only introduced us to publishing. They didn't go into great detail about it. And what the instructor did was she put up a CSAC statement for like $12. And from there I was hooked, because I knew that in addition to the income that I was receiving from touring and the master royalties that were coming in, we were on radio. We were performing, and I knew that publishing was an area that I could start generating income. So that's kind of what happened to me. All right, so I want you guys to see that this is all possible. So the purpose of this workshop is to share the 3 keys to getting started in publishing in record time without going in circles or making mistakes. To walk you through the new method to get placements for your music that makes it simpler than ever, and explain how you can work alongside us, Steve and I, to show you how you can own and collect all of your publishing without the commissions and percentage share deductions or copyright transfer because of any third party involvement. So the big thing for tonight is you can do this. You can own and collect 100% of your publishing, get placements, and collect your royalties worldwide all on your own. How you doing, Lisa? How you doing, Skula? We have both of you guys are artists. That is amazing. Thanks so much for contributing your art to the world. All right. How you doing, Cecilia? Good evening. So glad to have you here. So we're going to tell you guys who we are, why you should be listening to us, what qualifies us to teach this information. I'm going to bring in Stephen Cauchi, and he's going to tell you more about himself.
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Steve Cauchi. That's who I am. This is my personal life right here. I'm a son, brother, father, musician, entrepreneur, producer, engineer, and MS warrior. I also like to think I'm a rock star. But I saw a great meme the other day that said, look in the mirror, say you're still a rock star as you take your vitamins and ibuprofen and go to sleep at 9 o'clock. So I thought that was kind of funny. So it gave me a good little laugh. Born and raised in the music industry, with my father, I was always surrounded by musicians and music business industry veterans. So I kind of grew up in the industry, around tons of musicians, around industry vets, business-minded people. I had a deep passion in high school, in college, led me in a career in the industry, in the music industry, where I flourished in college in history and theory. That was my area. I liked theory. I liked the mathematics behind it, the circle of fifths and all that good stuff. And I enjoyed the history. I studied Beethoven, so I really that's why I gravitated in college. But eventually, I moved on to the business world. I was a recording engineer assistant at a major recording house in Manhattan, New York, in the States, and I quickly learned that recording life wasn't for me. The hours working on someone else's project and schedule just wasn't my cup of tea. So because I wanted to be on the creative end, I wanted to be the one recording my music. I didn't want to be with somebody else. So I started to look into the industry and where I could learn. And I started my career at Cherry Lane Music, which was fantastic. It was an independent music publisher. And I started there as an assistant and worked all my way up to becoming a manager. I learned the business practices, methods, practices, and moved up company ranks. It was a great company, very family oriented. Everybody learned, everybody had a common goal, was driven. I always say it's musicians working for other musicians because that's the industry. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. And from there, I successfully moved over to BMG. Well, BMG moved into Cherry Lane. BMG went away in about 2008, 2009. They got a lot of money, a lot of backing. And then they came back around 2010. And they just started eating companies and acquiring companies. One of the first companies they acquired was Cherry Lane. They leveled everybody, and I was one of like 10 to stay on out of 90. I believe so. It was a major merger and acquisition of the Cherry Lane company. So with that, with BMG, acting as director during mergers and acquisitions, integrations with the Cherry Lane, State Street, and Evergreen, Chrysalis, and Bug music companies and copyright catalogs. I was the head of U.S. operations. So it was a big role to fill. We had bi-coastal operations. We had L.A., Nashville, and New York in the States, and we worked with all the affiliate partners globally. So I learned all the international from the States as well as running a multi coast field company department. So yeah, so that's I raised the U.S. copyright team through a 250 plus yearly increase with direct deal sign. So besides the acquisitions, which were millions of copyrights and millions of dollars coming across from one system to another, it was also dealing with the direct signings as well. BMG had big pockets, deep pockets, a great company, and they went out and they signed everybody. So amongst the mergers and acquisitions, we also had deep pockets to go after the individual signings. So I was there for all that. And from that point, I moved over to Maga Music, and I ran the U.S. Copyright Department, and I increased the permissions licensing by 10%, and team productivity and efficiency by 20%. So that was also a global company. I worked within the states, oversaw the U.S. Department, but also worked with the international affiliates globally. So I learned a lot. It was great. I loved it all. So that's what I did. We're going to go look at my resume now. So I had 20 plus years working in the music industry. I'm a music publisher, project and operations management and executive. I consult. I'm a musician. I play as well, producer and engineer. So I try to do all facets. I currently operate as a business consultant and COO to the Music Publishing Academy. I was the director of copyright administration and royalties at Amaga Music in the U.S. But like I said, we work globally, so we work with everybody around the world. I also was director of copyright administration at BMG Rights Management in Manhattan, New York. But BMG followed, we called it the European model, because even though it's the director of copyright administration, copyright also handled a lot of royalties. We made sure that the money came in and we got paid out, and the money went out to our clients. We also troubleshot and worked through problem solved for all of our clients that came through that said that they have had accounting issues. So we made sure that the bells and whistles kept on moving. I also, at BMG, when BMG acquired Cherylane, I became the manager of copyright administration. In Cherylane, I was manager, catalogs administration, but I started there and I worked my way up to be a manager. I started as an assistant. I could remember my first story at Cherylane, the first day on the job. I walked around the corner and they said, "We need all this filed." And I was like, "Okay." And I filed it all. My hands were ripped up. I went home. My mother saw my hands. She goes, "What have you been fighting?" I said, No. I'm working," because my hands were all caught up and charred up. So that's what you have to do. You have to work up the ranks. And we're going to give you the tools and the keys to do that. So that's my resume. 20 plus years, and this is what I look like. This is me. If you see my cursor, this is me as back in the day performing. I had hair, long hair, and as I got older, something happened. I started to lose it. Such is life. So there's some heroes and villains and some great quotes that I love, some people that I look up to, some bands. Got the Empire State here. Very important to me. I love New York. And I'm going to flip it on over to Renita. So Renita, please let's discuss your personal life. And great seeing everybody, and we look forward to hearing from you more.
Awesome. Okay. So, hey Vincent, how you doing? So glad to have you here. Marlon, both you guys are producers, so that is awesome. Marlon's from South Jersey. Ryan, shouts out to you and your YouTube channel. George, welcome. Andrew, welcome. All right, guys. So my name is Renita Holyfield. I'm a daughter, sister, musician, entrepreneur, wife, producer, engineer, and award-winning artist. Born and raised in the industry via my father and my mom, I was always surrounded by champions, entertainers, and music business industry vets. Um, Met all types of celebrities, worked with all types of people, blah, blah, blah. So my deep passion for music since the age of 4, grade school, high school, and in college led me to a career in the industry, and I flourished in music business and marketing. Started my career with Evander Holyfield's label, Real Deal Records, and studying music business in college. I quickly learned industry methods and practices and started my career in entrepreneurship, forming several entertainment companies. Hey Keisha, how you doing? Brian from Charlotte, producer out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome. Um, Cherie, if you're having a problem, any tech issues, click the reconnect button and it should be able to get you back so you can hear the audio. But yeah, I founded several entertainment companies. I led LG Music Publishing, acting as founder and CEO, which resulted in a 500% plus increase in client acquisitions and company growth, and I increased the company's revenue by 200%. Okay, so I have over 20 plus years working in the industry as a publisher, exec, consultant, musician, producer, and engineer. Like I said, I founded several companies, one of those being LG Music Publishing here in Atlanta. The first publishing company that I signed, which I believe Shimmer talked about this, how he set up his company, his pub company with ASCAP. That's a good first step. But if you're going to actually be managing other people's music, in your case as a label, you want to work with as many PROs as possible. So you want to grow your company to sign with the other entities as well. So the first company I had was Legit Publishing. I was able to sign with CSAC. And for those who know about PROs in the US, CSAC is not open enrollment. You can't just pay. You actually have to have some things going on and know some people. So I did that back in 2007. Prior to that, I was running Legit Records and I was managing a few producers and artists, and we were touring and getting a bunch of airplay. So that really helped when I went to CSAC and they signed us up, signed me and my team up with the company. But before all that, I was at Real Deal Records, which was my uncle's Evander Holyfield's label, and I was there as a recording artist and producer. Now, regarding school and college and universities, I have 2 college degrees. My MBA is in marketing from Columbia Southern, and my bachelor's is from Georgia State, where I minored in music business management. So I've spent a lot of time, a lot of decades studying the music industry on the collegiate level and in the physical market, in the streets, or whatever you want to call it, and getting the practical experience outside of school, which is where, for me, the real learning kind of took place. So I've also had like radio placements, Georgia State Radio, Foxy 105, Columbus, film placements. I have a composer who composed for Hope Dances, which is on Amazon and Netflix. I have multi-platinum producers that I represent that have had their music placed on VH1, Love and Hip Hop. I also work with Grammy Award-winning songwriters who wrote for Little Richard, Dennis Edwards and the Temptations, and I built my music publishing catalog to over 7.5 million streams and counting. Okay, and so this is pictures of me with some of my celebrity relatives, friends, and colleagues here in Atlanta. That's me in the Porsche and all that. So as it relates to the industry, I'm well connected and well versed in everything related to the music industry and publishing. So owning your publishing is currency. So if you want to own and collect all of your publishing income, if you want passive income, and for those who don't know, your royalties are considered assets and therefore passive income. If you want to be the entity granted permission as to who can use your music and in what way, and if you want control over your music, can I get an amen in the chat?
Amen.
So let's go. The 3 keys to master the blueprint to getting started in music publishing and secure placements. And we are seeing the amens come in. Yes, we all want that passive income. You guys deserve it. You work hard for it. So let's get started with this workshop and get into the nitty gritty. So the first thing we're going to cover is understanding your ownership interest, okay? Because you got to understand what you own if you want to maneuver the right way. The second key we're going to discuss is U.S. performance rights organizations and building a writer and publisher affiliation. So once you understand your ownership interest, we're going to talk about how to set up a writer and pub entity with a PRO. And then once you have your PRO registration set up, we're going to talk about how you can start pitching your songs for tens of thousands of dollars and for $0, okay? So that area there, you want to make sure you stick around for that, because a lot of the information there you may not be aware of how you can actually start pitching your music, and you don't have to pay per submission or whatever to do so. Okay, so if you're ready, give us a yes in the chat. Let's get started. So most think you need to be a major music publisher or have thousands of connections in order to collect all of your royalties. And I told you guys this is going to be very interactive. So most think you need to be a major music publisher to be profitable. So hashtag pub mindset if you've ever thought any of these things. So here's what happens when you think that. You give away ownership, income, and royalties to your music when you really don't have to. You are the owner of your publishing, period. You are the final power on what goes on with your music. Remember, you don't need to be a major publisher. You can do everything on your own and be very successful at it. It's your responsibility to learn and be familiar with your rights and how to monetize them, but you do not have to sign your rights away. So I'm going to bring in Steve. He's going to teach you guys the lessons on understanding ownership interest. Steve, you can take it from here.
All right. Thanks a lot, Renita. Excellent. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? All right. This is key number 1, understanding ownership interest. So just so you guys have a quick understanding if you do not. So here we go. If you look at our graph here, check out my cursor moving around. When one solely creates a song, they own 100% of the copyright and publishing. So when you write a song, it's yours. You have 100% of the copyright, which is the ownership, and the publishing. All right. And we're going to be discussing publishing moving on. The only way you can lose 100% of the copyright and the publishing interest is if the copyright and publishing is assigned or transferred to someone else or to a company. And we're saying you don't need to do that. There's no need to assign anything. There's no need to assign even administration. You could do everything yourself. Because even if you assign administration, they're going to take a fee. They're going to take a percentage of what your publishing is. That can range from 10 to 20%. And that's lost income that you should be having. So you could do everything on your own. That's the purpose of this, is to tell you guys that you could do everything on your own. With technology changing and the landscape of tech moving forward, everything is at your own fingertips. All right, publisher interest, writer pub interest. In publishing, the shares are divided. So that 100% that I showed you guys on the last slide is broken out 50-50. So it's 50 writer interest that contains the lyrics, the authorship, the melody, and the composer. So the words and music. It's broken down to 50% over here. And we have the pub interest which is the publishing, which is another 15%, 50%. So I want you guys to understand that 100% gets broken down to 50-50. All right. Here's another way of explaining it. In another view, composer writes a song, owns copyright and publishing 100%. The composer's interest is split two ways. Writer share 50%, which is over here, which gets rounded up to, it becomes 100% at that point. And the publisher share gets broken down, and that gets rounded up to be 100%. So we're going to discuss the publisher interest and what falls in line with that. But it's important that you guys realize that you do not have to sign your rights away. Everything is at your fingertips. With technology today and advancements and distribution of getting your music from point A to point B, even to C, you do everything on your own, and you could collect all that money. That's the whole thing. You generate and collect all that money. So PROs, performing rights organizations, collections, and accounting. We're going to focus on the U.S. I know that we have a couple of folks from the UK and Germany. We discussed that in the essentials in the program. We discuss international collections, but everything falls in line. Everything is relevant. Everything is pretty much right across the way. So we might be talking about the U.S., but it falls in line with international as well. So PROs collect royalties on television, radio, movie, commercials, placing, streaming, theater, Broadway, and touring. PROs account writer and publisher share quarterly. That's two statements generated. One to the publisher for the publisher, one directly to the writer for the writer share. So you guys got to visualize that and see that. There are two statements, two checks. One who goes to the publisher, which is important for you to set up your publishing account, and a check goes to the writer. You set up your writer account. So we're going to be asking you guys to set up two forms of income. Make sure you have your writer account set up. Make sure you have your publisher account set up. We're going to stress the publisher account because we realize that many people do not set up their publisher share, do not set up their publishing accounts. All right, so PROs generate one statement and check to the publisher for the publisher share, and one directly to the writer for the writer share. Two sources of income. Two statements, I should say. Two statements. All right, quarterly dates can change based on volume and priority. So check the PRO website for distribution dates. They always pay quarterly, but the distribution of when that check is to be sent out can change based on volume and priority that they have. So always check their websites, because that always changes. All right, so we're going to discuss mechanical. Quickly, mechanical, right, is the act of placing, collecting a composition's use for physical, digital download, digital streaming, and ringtone formats. In the States, we have HFA, which is the primary mechanical rights society, or we'll say agency. Mechanical's account, HFA accounts one statement to the publisher quarterly, and that statement rolls up the writer and publisher share. So it's not like they're breaking it out like the PRO does. They're sending one statement with the writer and publisher share all rolled in together. So that's why it's very important that you set up your publisher account, also in your writer account at the PRO. Mentioned that in a previous slide. In the States, physical and permanent digital download statutory rate by law is 0.091 cents per play. All right. So that's how HFA works. It's our primary mechanical rights agency in the States. All right, this is someone that I work with. We did a testimonial. You can read it, go through it. Ryan and I worked together at Chairman and BMG. He eventually moved on to become a VP Administration Licensing and Royalties at Atlas Music. Doing a great job there. One of the things that we talk about in the essentials is database management. And we clearly discuss Counterpoint Vistec Systems, which is a great music system database for tracking and accounting royalties and understanding ownership interest. And the essentials, in our essentials, we go into this and break it down. And we give you guys examples of how ownership and collection is broken out. So this is a testimonial from Ryan Broadhead, now VP of Administration Licensing and Royalties at Atlas Music. Read that quickly. We'll move on. But I do want to note that Counterpoint Vistec Systems is something that, well, just database management and all. It's very important when you're managing multiple catalogs. And I remember someone saying that they had 300 works that they represent. I'm sorry if I missed the name, but it was a lot of songs. So please, in the chat, identify if you have a database you're using. But we go into in the essentials the importance behind database management. All right, key number 2 is U.S. performing rights organizations and building a writer and publisher affiliation. Now we're going to discuss the states. In the essentials, the program that we discuss a little later, we talk about international as well. All right, so performance rights, it's imperative that songwriters choose a PRO that's going to best represent them. Each PRO operates different. Each PRO has a different fee, pays out slightly different. So it's important. So I remember someone saying that they were just affiliated with ASCAP. If you're representing clients, you really want to have all your PROs have an entity with all the PROs, because then you're covering your bases and it'll allow you to all right, so I'm having some mic feedback I hear. I'm going to put down this. I'm going to step back a little bit. Let me know if this is a little bit better, because I don't have any feedback on this.
Yes, Brooke, if you could give us some more details about what's going on with your audio. You asked how to turn it off. What you can do is try clicking the reconnect button at the top of your screen and see if that helps. If not, let us know.
Yeah,
but this is definitely live and interactive. Awesome.
So I just lowered my mic slightly, and hopefully that'll help a little bit. So yes, let us know if there are any issues, please. We want to make sure that we get you guys the best information. We're here for you.
Thanks, guys. Let us know.
So let us know if there's any issues. Okay, please. So okay, performing rights. It's important that you guys set up all entities. It also allows your composers, authors, songwriters to, if you're representing on behalf of writers, to have gives them leeway if they want to go from one PRO to the other. We discussed that in the essentials, the terms and provisions, which will allow you to move, which will allow a songwriter to move around. But if you are representing clients, you want to be affiliated with all the PROs. But you can only affiliate with one PRO at a time. All right, so if you're a BMI writer, you need to have a BMI publishing entity as well. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But same thing with ASCAP, CTAC. But, you know, based on fees and structures, that could change. They might want to move. Your clients might want to move from BMI to ASCAP or vice versa. So it's important to allow them the option to move around. So that's why it's important that if you represent clients, that you have all your entities set up. for all the PROs. And also, once affiliated, there are several steps, conditions, and that must be taken into consideration when seeking to change PROs. We discuss that in the essentials as well. All right. So we're going to move forward. All right. Hey. Rock on. All right. In the U.S., we have our PROs, ASCAP, BMI, CSEC, GMR. So, the links are hyperactive. If you guys stick around to the end of the presentation, we're going to send you this presentation. So you can just go over and hover above, and it's going to take you directly to the link of where to go. So if you stick around to the end, we'll provide you with this presentation. But, we understand that international operates a little different. There's usually one PRO and one mechanical agency. In the States, we have multiple, but we discuss all of the differences in the essentials. At ASCAP, we note that it's a $50 rider application fee. This is for rider, just every rider. And if you know my cursor, you could click on the link when we provide you the presentation at the end for sticking around. You go to where the arrows are, and it gives you options where to go to sign up. All right, here's some key pages of rider affiliation when you sign up with ASCAP. So every single platform is relative. They push you through. So you add one area, you hit save, and you move on to the next. So you add your address, citizenship, email address, and social security number. Social is always going to be very important. We also note here that add your music genre as pop if your music genre is not listed. Oh, sorry, that's me and my kid. It's down here. And, because they're not going to have every single genre listed. So a safe bet is always to list pop music. And that will allow you to continue through. All right. More rider affiliation. Here's some other areas. As I noted, every single PRO will allow you to receive royalties via direct deposit or check. You can confirm the method of payment to receive. Very straightforward. How do you want to get your money? How do you want to receive it? It's a space age now, so I'm assuming direct deposit is the way to go. But some people, you still like a check in hand. Confirm your tax information, application fee, payment by credit card or debit card. If you're doing it online, $50 for the rider application fee, and we give you the link there. Is BMI? BMI is slightly different. BMI is no money down to become a rider. All right, we give you the links. Stick around to the end, and we'll provide you with the presentation. And we'll give you all the hyperlinks of where to go to. But you can note where to go to become a writer, publisher, where to go to sign up your affiliation. But BMI is no cost for a writer application fee. And quickly want to discuss CSEC and GMR. CSEC and GMR. They're invite only. They're not open enrollment like ASCAP and BMI. They will contact you if they're interested or if they like what they hear. Or if you know somebody that could get you in. If you're representing clients, it's a key thing to contact them and say that you represent clients, that you want to set up a CSEC, a GMR affiliate and move forward, because you never know if and when, you'll be contacted by CSEC and GMR for your songwriter or your client that you represent. We give you the links here. A couple of little things. We have SESAC has been around for about 90 years, and was the first PRO in the U.S. to allow independent songwriters and publishers to collect from live performances such as open mics and talent shows. They still pay out on open mics and talent shows. GMR, which is newly created, came into existence about 35 years ago. Started by industry vet Irving Azoff. Google him. He's been around for a long time. He's a pioneer in the industry. So SESAC and GMR are invite only. They will contact you if they're interested. But if you are representing clients, you want to set up your entity, you want to contact them, set up your publishing entity. And we also go into a little deeper background of mechanical agencies and performer rights organizations in the essentials. We go into their history and what they're doing today and how they pay through. So we give a lot of information. At this point, I'm going to flip it on over to Renita. Renita, come on in, join. And thanks, guys, for I'll talk to you guys a little bit later on. So, Renita, this is please chime on in. Thank you.
Sure thing. Hey, Ken, ASCAP. Oh, I got an echo. Okay. ASCAP does not charge a yearly fee. Those fees are a one-time fee. And we're going to talk about that on the upcoming slides because I've worked with hundreds of writers and all that. Sometimes people will set up their writer, but they don't set up their, and that may be because of the additional fees that you have to pay to set yourself up as a publisher with ASCAP and BMI. But what happens when you do that, they will allow you to set yourself up as a writer. But what they may or may not tell you is you're going to be missing 50% of your income because generally you'll be sent two checks, your writer and your publisher. But if you don't have a publisher account set up, then the monies won't be sent to you. Okay, hold on. Thanks for letting me know, Ryan. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me. They were saying I'm breaking up a little bit.
Okay. How you doing? Everybody good? That keynote that Renita just mentioned is you don't want to leave any money unaccounted. That's why it's very important that you guys set up your publishing account as well. Because just setting up your writer account isn't, you're only getting 50% of that income. You guys should be getting 100%. So it's very important that you guys set up your writer and publisher accounts at the PROs. So please make note of that. Renita.
Okay, guys. Yes, I'm back. Okay, so a common myth that people think is that once you set yourself up as a publisher with your PRO, that they're now your publisher and they're going to be actively getting placements for you and helping you collect money, helping you to earn money. That's not technically the case. What your PRO is not your publisher. Hey, Marco, is what true for all PROs? Let us know so we can see if we can help you out. PROs are simply societies created to protect and collect for the performance of the songs and compositions throughout the world. So that's only one type of music royalty, one type of publishing royalty, which is your performance royalties. And there are many other publishing royalties that we talk about in the essentials and how you can collect those royalties in the essentials. But your PRO is only going to collect on behalf of your performance. Hey, Pops, can you be a little more specific on your question? So who does? So we can help you out. Now, they assist publishers and songwriters in protecting their compositions and collecting the income from the performance of the compositions. Yes, Marco, to answer your question, it is possible to self-publish and collect all 200%. Now, BMI operates on a 200% scale. ASCAP and SESAC operate on 100%. But yes, it is possible to do that. Who helps you collect, Pops? Your PRO helps you collect, but they only collect on performance royalties. No problem. there are many other royalties out there that you have to be connected to other societies in order to collect, okay? Now, they also issue, PROs being they, also issue licenses on behalf of their affiliates, which generate an additional source of revenue for songwriters and publishers. But again, it's very important, it's VIP that you set up your pub account, DBA name, when affiliate yourself as a writer with a PRO, which ensures you receive your publisher royalties. Because what happens is, if you don't do that, your money goes into a black box, and black box monies are paid to the major publishers or the government at a later time. So that's money that you'll never see. And I believe you only have like a 2 to 5 year window. So you want to make sure that at the very least, if you're going to be writing songs or releasing songs or whatever you're doing in the industry and you want to collect your publishing, you guys go out after this workshop and get yourself set up as a publisher, okay? Thanks, Cecilia, for letting me know. Let me know if it's a little better now. Sorry about that. Sorry for any technical difficulties that we're having. Okay, so ASCAP, they're going to charge you $50 for your publisher app. So if you set yourself as a writer and a publisher, it's going to be $100 total. You enter your corporation type. And when you guys get to the website, you'll see that it's pretty self-explanatory. You just follow the prompts and make sure that the information is accurate so that you don't waste money and have to do the application over again and then pay the fee again. But you add your billing address, your citizenship, email address, EIN, your employer identification number. With them, you can receive royalties, direct deposit, or check. But just a heads up, direct deposit obviously pays out a lot quicker than if you get a paper check. Oh, hey, Keith, that's a good question. The answer to that is it's up to you guys. Basically, you're the publisher, as Steve was saying. You're already the publisher as of the music once you write a song. How the publishing is then split is up to you guys, and we talk more about co-writing in the essentials and how you can go about that. But you want to set up your agreement, maybe get you a split sheet or something. If you know what a split sheet is. We have templates that we offer you in the essentials if you don't have one, that you can use to get everything in writing for who owns what and what shares will be sent to who. Okay, now BMI is the most expensive in the United States to register as a publisher. It's $150 for sole proprietors and $250 for corporations, partnerships, or LLCs. So you want to add your corporation type, address, email, and social. And we have the link there for you. You can receive royalties via direct deposit or check. Now, if you look at the screen where it says first choice, second choice, third choice, when you're setting up your publisher names, you can't use a name that's already in use. And with BMI, they'll give you the option to put in multiple names just in case you submit a name that's that's already in use. They'll use your second, third, or fourth choice. With ASCAP systems, they have a little area where once you put in the publisher name, it'll show you if any names have been used, any publishing companies have been set up for that name. Now, what you can do, though, is you can go into the repertoires of each PRO, so that you don't waste any money, and actually search the publisher name that you want to use in the repertoire as well as an additional step to see if anyone has already used that name. Okay, so if you do not have a publisher company set up, use the sole proprietorship option, and that's very common. That won't affect any of your royalties or anything like that, okay? Again, with your publisher affiliation, CSAC and GMR are invite only. They are not an open enrollment to join as a writer or publisher. They will contact you if they are interested. So how did I sign with CSAC? So the way it worked out for me, I was introduced to the senior director at CSAC, and I had a lot of things going on with me at the time. Like I said, we were touring. I was managing people. We was having radio play, so it made sense for them to sign me. So if you ever want to get signed with CSAC, you want to make sure that you have some things going for yourself and you're not just kind of coming with your hand out, but they are a really good PRO to have in your court. Yeah, and so in the essentials, once you guys become students, if that's something you need help with, reach out to us and we'll be glad to see if we can assist you. All right, so here's another testimonial. You can read through the entire testimonial, but this is Morris. He was a client of mine, and we took his music and showed him how to do his publishing, and also managed him as well. Got his music in over 200 plus countries, and it was generating royalties in Russia, Europe, Japan, China, Australia, just all over the world. And so we helped him to book shows and just start having activity that was going to generate those royalties for him, because prior to working with us, he had been signed, he was with CSAC as well, but he had been signed and had never received a check. And that was really important to him at the time. So we helped him earn thousands in royalties from what we were doing for him and helping him out with. And so once you guys get into the essentials, we'll go into detail about how you can do the same. Now, key number 3, how to start pitching your songs for tens of thousands of dollars and for $0. Okay, so there is an art and science to pitching and to getting placements. In order to earn royalties and sync, you're going to have to understand how to pitch your music. And we have an entire licensing section in the essentials. Now, some companies, as you may be aware of, they're going to charge you, whether it's per submission or just charge you to pitch your music to a supervisor just for the opportunity, or you may have to assign your publishing to a company in order for the company to pitch on your behalf. And what we want to do is to empower you to go out and get the connections yourself and to be able to pitch on your own behalf without any third party involvement. Again, signing away your rights or giving away a commission or paying up front. And one of the ways you can do that is through LinkedIn. I know a guy, if you ever heard of him, named Lewis Hughes, who really built his brand through LinkedIn. This guy has reached over the 500 plus connections, and I'm sure he probably has about 50,000 connections. And what he did was he would have all of these executives come out to these events he would throw and, you know, take it from the digital market into the physical market. Well, how LinkedIn has worked for me is one of the ways you can, you know, I have over 7,400 connections there and counting. And one of the ways you can really build your network is by reaching out to people, connecting to people, and then messaging them professionally. Now, as it relates to pitching, what you want to do, this is how you can start pitching for $0. You want to go to LinkedIn. This is one strategy you can use. Go to LinkedIn, do a search for music supervisors. Connect with those people. And what you do is search for music supervisors and just start connecting with people. Everybody is not going to connect to you, but some people will. Once they connect to you, you message them professionally. And in the essentials, we give you an exact template you can use to actually start messaging people, a template that has worked for me. I actually met an awesome lady named Chris Hicks. She was a music supervisor. I used this strategy with her, and I was able to pitch our music. She was looking for some jazz music for a video that was going to be broadcast for this corporation. And we was able to get our music pitched to her and actually get feedback on the music and a potential placement for absolutely $0. Now, one of the things, though, is you want to know your client and their licensing restrictions, how, what, and where you can use a client song. Like, for instance, some people don't want their music used with, like, tobacco products, religious organizations, firearms, parodies. So you want to know that before you get involved with the pitching process, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to look bad and you don't want to waste people's time, because that'll immediately get you, you know, it'll immediately deter, and people may choose not to work with you. You also want to know your song. Does your song meet the license requirement for their media? Because as it relates to pitching, these potential people you're pitching to are leads who could be future clients as well. So not only are you representing clients on the songwriter side, but once you start pitching, the people you're pitching to are considered leads or future clients of yours as well.
Yeah, everything is a relationship. So keep that relationship strong to the point. And time is money, money is time. So you want to make sure that you keep relationships in good standings. So it's important.
Okay, awesome. Now you guys are asking some really good questions. Let's see. The best way to collect mechanicals. Okay, so HFA has their own eligibility requirements for being able to register with them. But in the essentials, we give you access to how I was able to register with HFA, and I'll show you how to do that in the essentials. So there you go, Marco. For Pure Terre, yes. I've seen people who are based overseas. Like I have a writer who's in Malta who affiliated with ASCAP. So you definitely want to reach out to them and talk to them about you being an international songwriter, and you may want them to represent you for the U.S. Yes, the essential programs goes over the different types of interested party codes. We talked about music reports, Louder, Sound Exchange, ISRC, title registration, BDS. We talk about all that. And there's more. Yes, so we go into great detail about it and teach you how to not only get yourself set up, but how these are all connected and interrelated and how you can use that to collect more royalties for yourself. Yes, Vincent. Thank you, Karen. Yes, Vincent. We definitely said you can look for music supervisors on LinkedIn. They are on LinkedIn. And some of them are very friendly. Music supervisors generally, have a passion for music. So if you're professional about how you connect with them, they may be open to having you submit music to them, and you can do that for absolutely free. Okay, now this software here that we have on the screen, as you can see, they have a licensing opportunity here listed for $5,000 to $50,000. Now this software is not free, but when you join the essentials, you get 30 days of free access to this software. And as you see, it has the reference tracks listed for you. BTS is a pop band, and they tell you what the music should sound like, the description, unpublished or admin submissions only, the type of genre, boy band, pop songs needed for an international artist, which means it's probably with a label. And the team there is very proactive about getting you set up to actually start pitching your music and getting results from it. And we'll tell you more about that later on in the workshop. We're not going to keep that information from you. But if you hold on to the very end, we'll tell you who this company is and how you can get started for 30 days. This is another area of the software where they list all of the licensing opportunities that you can work with. You don't have to pay per submission or anything like that, but they have like just several opportunities you can look at and actually start pitching your music, and they help you set up your catalog within the software. You can get feedback on your music. You can see when people have actually opened your messages and listened to your tracks and all of that. So it's a really good software for tracking all that data and pitching out to new opportunities. Okay, check-in time. All right, so was this all helpful for you? Give us a yes in the chat. Okay, Keith, yes. If you register your songs as a publisher with the PRO, you can still sign up as a publishing company. You can still sign with a publishing company. What does unpublished or admin submissions mean? That means it's unpublished, meaning another publishing company is not representing it, or if it is a publishing company represented, it's an administrative agreement only. And in the essentials, we talk about all the different types of deals that you may come across, and when you're dealing with publishing. And an administrative agreement is a type of agreement that a publisher may offer you. Thank you, guys. Yes, absolutely. So glad you're here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Did you learn? I'm getting a lot of yes in the chat. How to master the blueprint to getting started in music publishing and securing placement without letting lack of knowledge, connections, or marketing stop you. ASCAP is not a publishing company, Naomi. They are a PRO, which is only going to collect for one type of royalty for you. So in the essentials, we talk about all the different types of royalties, how you can work with your PRO to better collect your royalties, how you can build that relationship and focus on areas that's going to generate royalties for you. But yes, your PRO is not your publisher. All right. Now, we talked about the 3 keys: understanding ownership, interest, US PROs, and building a writer and publisher affiliation. Thank you, Rodney. You guys are awesome. Key number 3, the new approach to pitch your songs. Awesome. So what if you own and control all of your publishing and made tens of thousands of dollars from your music, like me? Want to hear how we can help you? Type yes in the chat. So if you want a clear roadmap and accountability for creating your publishing company and make it profitable. Cecilia, if you have a few songs written, but you don't have a track made, I'm not sure how you would be able to pitch without having an actual record or demo or track to submit to them. Okay, so here's how we can work together, how we can put the power in your hands. If you want to work with music publishing experts who work with millions of copyrights and royalties and can teach you how to do the same for your catalog, that's what we're here for, okay? Okay, so I'm going to post this. Up. Publishing Essentials is all about cutting through the fluff and taking you straight to the cash, okay? Giving you the trade secrets you need to be profitable in publishing without spending thousands on seminars and college courses and hours, days, weeks, or years meeting new people to learn this type of information. One thing I learned in college is you can spend 5 figures, like 40 bands, on a college degree and get out of school and still have to learn more information. And so what this course does, it takes all the theory out and just gives you the tools that you need to put the power into your hands and to actually go out and do everything an administrator or publisher would do for you, and to do it yourself so that you can retain 100% ownership of what you're doing. So when you focus on just surrendering and being like Steve and Renita have been there, they have done it. Amazing things are possible.
Yeah, guys, as Renita said, cuts out the fluff. You know, we discuss real world business practices and procedures. Real world from working in the industry, from doing it for years. So take advantage of what the Music Publishing Essentials brings, because it's real world procedures and practices and methods. So it's very important stuff of what's going on in today's industry.
So here's what's inside. So part 1 is the course, and you get step-by-step video lessons, templates, tutorials, and guides. So we gave you guys the link. You're going to click on it, and you're going to have the opportunity to join us in the Essentials. Now, there's 4 modules, and the course takes about 7 weeks if you do 4 lessons a week, okay? And in module 1, we talk about what is music publishing, the history of publishing, a brief history of copyright, the Copyright Act of 1790, and a brief timeline of U.S. copyright history, ownership interest, interested party, types of deals, publisher functions, database management, hiring attorneys, and business entities. In the essentials, we teach you how you can hire attorneys at an affordable cost, because most people just think an attorney is out of your budget, but it's really not. And it's nothing like being able to have an attorney on retainer to bounce your ideas off of and make sure you're moving the right way. And in the essentials, we show you how you can do that. In module 2, we go into PROs and building a writer and publisher entity, part 1 and 2. Mechanical rights, where we show you how you can get set up. We show you exactly where you need to go to affiliate with HFA if you're having problems with that. Registration, part 1 and part 2, where we talk about the different areas of registration and how to go about registering your works correctly, registering your set list, registering for your radio airplay, because a lot of people think that once you register with your PROs, that's it. But sometimes your PRO may miss things as it relates to collecting your performance royalties, and you still have to register with these different companies to kind of help assist your PRO with collecting on your behalf. And then we talk about USCO. Now in module 3, we get into international collections, and this is what's going to allow you to do your global collections. We also talk about new media and distributors, your company website, social media. In module 4, we talk about the song and how you, because the thing is this, if your music is trash, it's going to be really difficult to be successful in the industry and in publishing. So we talk about the importance of getting your song together before you go out and start pitching and all that. This is not a get rich quick scheme, okay? This is something that's going to put the power into your hands so that you can go out and basically do what an administrator or publisher would do. You can do yourself, so that way you don't have to sign away your rights, and you can actually, keep 100% of the income that you're earning. We talk about administrators and digital distributors and speaking engagements. Part 2 of the course is the community. So what happens is once you join, you'll be able to join our community of other like-minded professionals. It's only for our paid members, and there you can bounce ideas off each other, support each other. You get instant feedback to your questions. So yes, part 2 is the community. And part 3 is the coaching. We'll do monthly Q&A calls with you. We'll have group coaching calls with exclusive training, and you'll be able to ask Steve and I any questions that you have as you're going through the course.
Yeah, I think the coaching is going to be tremendous. You get to talk to us, and we're pretty cool people. So we look forward to hearing from you guys.
So this is Larry, and what we did with Larry was he was basically unknown in the market. He has a record label that he owns, and he also is an artist. And he became a client of ours, and we helped him to start actually collecting his first publishing checks. He was with ASCAP, and he had never been set up with a PRO. He didn't know anything about it, but by the time we were finished consulting him and managing his royalties, he was able to start generating his publishing royalties, and he definitely saw an increase in social media, like with his YouTube and his LinkedIn and all that. And so in the essentials, we teach you how you can go out and generate more royalties and collect those royalties as well.
Hey, what's up, guys? Steve. Ben Humphreys is the guy that I managed, oversaw, and I was a coach and mentor to him. He's now director of copyright at MPL Music Publishing, which is Paul McCartney's publishing company. So, you can read through the testimonial. He and I were very close together. He was great. Coached, mentored him, and managed him, and he's moved on to some great things. It's all about teamwork, and Renita and I are here. We are a team, so we're here to answer and assist with any questions or any, working through any problems. We had a problem solve, troubleshoot with you guys, You know, it's a team. There is no I in team. It's a typical cliche, but we are a team. So moving on up and forward. So
Okay, now this is Lisa. Lisa was actually a manager. She was doing some things. She was getting a lot of airplay on a radio station here, B103, and she didn't really understand how to go about to collect her publishing. So we consulted her, and from that consultation, she was able to actually collect on the income from the airplay that she was getting. You can read through the testimonial and see what she said about me. But yeah, we definitely helped her in the area of publishing and showed her how she could go about collecting the royalties that she was generating in the market.
and here's Crystal Simmons, someone who I managed and oversaw and mentored. We worked close together on registration, redirection, and royalties. Great asset to the team. Went over at BMG. She now has moved on over to Spotify. So, but registration and redirection are very, very important. We discuss all the important areas of registration and redirection in the essentials, what's needed to be done, and the other areas that you have to look at to exploit your song. So be aware of registration and redirection and new contract questions. So it's all stuff that we discuss in the essentials. You can read through her testimonial. It's also online. Find this online. Right? Stick around to the end, and you guys will get the we'll provide you with the with this PDF presentation.
So this program was created for you. If you're here, it's not an accident. You're driven, motivated, and dedicated to earning tens of thousands from your music. So if you're active in music publishing or in the music industry, if you're a producer, artist, writer, manager, A&R, composer, indie, major, label, musician, or copyright owner, if you have absolutely no experience whatsoever with publishing, if you have existing music, or if you have a small or existing network of professionals like A&Rs and music supervisors, or if you have existing royalties like publishing, mastering, and licensing, and you want to increase what you're doing, this program is for you. So we gave you guys the link. You're going to click it, and you're going to have the opportunity to join us in the essentials. Okay, so the value of this course. So we priced it at a $30,000 value because right now, if you go to a college and you try to get everything that's in this course, you're going to have to take multiple courses. They're not going to put it all into one course. And you're basically going to have to take the entire degree. Now, the degree can range from anywhere between $35,000 to about $42,000. So we valued the course at about 30 grand for what you would spend on this information getting a music business degree. Now, the software that I showed you guys in the pitching section is called Midio. And if you go to Midio now, you can check them out. You won't be able to sign up for free, but you can definitely check them out. But once you get into the essentials, we'll send you guys a code where you can actually get 30 days of free of Midio. And if you're able to get something placed, you've already made your investment back. With free immediate access to Midio, you can start pitching your music to 5-figure opportunities. No paying per pitch or submission, no blind pitching, no emailing or cold calling strangers, and no hundreds of dollars and hours down the drain. And they work with labels like Warner. They work with a variety of different music supervisors. And they have all these kind of different projects. And it's a great area for you to manage a large catalog if you don't have an area to do that as well. Okay, so what you're getting is you're getting the essentials. You're getting 30 days free of Midio. And with the essentials, you get the monthly coaching and the community as well. Now, what we're going to do tonight is we also have the resource guide. And in the resource guide, we put everything you need in one place. So what we normally do is when you pay in full today, you get the resource guide, which has a $297 value. But what we're going to do for today only, even if you get into our monthly payment program, we're going to send you the resource guide. And what's in the resource guide is we have over 100 contract templates. And on one contract alone, it was exclusive songwriter contract. I paid $500 for the attorney to draft the contract for me, and it's over 100 contract templates in there. So that alone shows the value of what's all in this guide. The social media template that I told you guys about, that will be in there, and you can use this template to introduce yourself to new clients and or partners. This template allowed me to generate over 7,400 LinkedIn connections in county and 40 clients. Letter of direction templates. A letter of direction is a form that you need to send to PROs if you're going to be managing other people's music and you need to transfer their publishing over to you. So we give you an actual template. We give you 2 templates for your letter of direction that you can use. In the company periodical database, we listed a variety of different companies that you could use to start reaching out to, companies that you need to be familiar with to be successful in the industry. And then we also have a label directory of all the major labels and their phone numbers so that you can start reaching out and contacting like Warner, like Def Jam, everybody's in there. Warner, Def Jam, Sony, Universal, all those guys. And an industry standard song delivery database that lets you to keep everything neat and organized for your song. Because as Steve was saying, database management is very important as it relates to publishing. And there's much, much more in there. So you get that in addition to the essentials, Medio 30 days free. You get the resource guide for a total value of $30,847. Okay, I got some questions came in. Hold on. Awesome. Is there a way we can rewatch this webinar? Yes, we're going to send you guys a replay to all the people, all the attendees. If your song is played on Spotify, do they pay you direct or does your PRO collect for you? Yes, your PRO will send you some royalties from your Spotify plays, but you're actually supposed to be generating about 3 different royalties from your Spotify plays. And in the essentials, we tell you how to go about collecting all of the royalties from your Spotify. But a lot of people just think it's, your PRO, but it's a couple entities that pay you. Okay, and Karen, to answer your question, here we go. So normally all this value is listed at $19.97. We would discount it to $7.97 or 3 payments of $277. But we don't want any excuses and nothing in your way. So here's what we're doing live right now. Take advantage of it. $5.97, 55% off, and that includes the resource guide. Or you can do the monthly payment of $277, and you still get access to the resource guide. Because we want you guys to have this information. Again, if you try to learn this information in college, just for one course, if you take one publishing course, they're not going to teach you about PROs. They're not going to teach you about licensing. Not going to teach you how to pitch. And then they're going to charge you like $1,400 for the course. So with us, you get everything in one place. We put the power in your hands, and it's only $5.97 or 3 payments of $277.
Yeah, guys, this is really, Renita and I spent some time to really bring you real world business practices, solutions, problem solving, stories, obstacles that we faced in putting into this program. So it's worth its weight in gold. So really take advantage of what's here. For $5.97, you get a lot. We talk about registration. Key thing is database management. understanding how workflow works. We talk about department workflow, ownership workflow, collection workflow, all the different revenue streams, how you should be receiving different monies from different sources. We talk about mechanical rights, how they account and pay through. We talk about other mechanical agencies that look at other things to be aware of. There's a company that looks solely at YouTube and monitor and grabs the monetization of YouTube of your songs being played online at YouTube. So that's another key thing. So we also get into sound exchange and master rights and collection of sound exchange. So that's another area, another source of income, another revenue stream you guys should be aware of. So these are all things that we talk about. And, the coaching, which is so very important. You have us at your fingertips. We'll go through a monthly exchange, but you send your email through, we'll review it, and then we're going to answer it in the monthly Q&A session. So you'll have us on call and when you need us. So just having the Q&A, the monthly call is very important. It's great buy for the $5.97 as well. So really look into all this, guys, because we're giving you real world business practice and methods and procedures of how publishing operates today. So look into it. $5.97, 55% off, but today only, and you get the resource guide. There's so much in the resource guide. So many tools that you could use. So really take advantage of that.
Awesome. And with this program, what it does is you'll no longer need an administrator, okay? You'll no longer need somebody to register your works. Okay, Marco, is that monthly or lifetime? So when you pay in full, that's lifetime, and when you pay on the monthly program, it's monthly. But after your third payment, you'll have access to it for lifetime access, okay? But yeah, so what this does is, like I said, it totally eliminates you having to work with any third party, having to share any of your publishing, take commissions out of your publishing, signing your rights away. Even with an administrative agreement, what a lot of people don't know is you still have to sign your rights over to the administrator. And they will then manage those rights and retain the ownership of those rights until your agreement ends. So, with most of the things that an administrator does, if you knew what to do, you could do it yourself. And this course teaches you exactly where to go, where to be, what to do, so that you have the power to manage your own publishing. Okay. Okay, so like I said, the $5.97 and $2.77 is for today only. Now, if you get into the monthly payment program, as you probably saw on the order form, you'll get the course over a drip of 3 months. And so you'll get 7 lessons the first month, 8 lessons the second month, and about 12 to 13 lessons on the third month. Yes, so the $5.97 is for midnight tonight Pacific Standard Time. So yes, you want to lock that in, Brooke, and definitely take advantage. And we're so glad to have you guys here. We hope that you learned some information that just from the workshop, you can take what was learned and actually start applying. But if you really want to get like everything you need and just all the information that you need to be set up correctly, not just with your PRO, then this course is for you. I can't stress it enough how so many people are just in the dark on the areas of publishing, and so many people are signing their rights away to an entity when if they knew what we know and what's in this course, then you wouldn't have to do that. And ownership is everything. Because publishing,
sorry. I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, well, publishing is an area that you can generate royalties for years to come. Like I've been with CSAC since 2007, and I'm still generating royalties from my publishing. I'm still generating royalties from Harry Fox, and that's stuff that happened years ago. So if that's something that's important to you, which it probably is if you're here, then you definitely want to get involved with this course.
Yeah, you read my mind. That's exactly it. Publishing continues to pay you through the years. So it's people are looking for a quick buck up front, um, but publishing lasts a lifetime. So that's why it's very important that you guys understand the procedures and the methods behind music publishing and copyright and registration and ownership and the deal types and what you're signing, what you shouldn't sign, international structures of at source and at source and non at source. The different societies around the world, how they pay through, what they pay on. We give it to you everything. We give you everything in this in the essentials. So check it out. It's well worth it.
Awesome. Okay. So we want to thank you guys for coming out. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And we're going to stick around for a few minutes to answer any questions that you guys have. You're welcome, Rico. You're welcome, Marlon. Thank you for attending. We're so glad to have you guys here. It's been a pleasure. We hope you guys learned some new information and you got information that you can actually go out and apply. But definitely, I'm telling you guys, if you get into the essentials, what you learned today is just the tip of the iceberg. We really go in depth into publishing. And the thing about publishing is it's more talked about now than it was in the past, but the things that have been talking about, nobody really tells you how to collect internationally. Nobody really tells you how to get yourself set up with HFA. Nobody really tells you where you need to be to actually generate your royalties. Awesome, Rich. Marco, does it include one-on-one coaching if needed? Right now we're doing the monthly coaching. We're running that and seeing how that works out. But definitely you would definitely be able to reach out to us and connect with us directly. Absolutely, Vincent. Like Ray Charles and Prince, not giving their rights over. Exactly.
It's awesome.
Okay, guys, so we're going to stick around for a few more minutes. Oh, it's now 9:30. Okay, so we want to thank you guys for attending tonight. So if you have any questions, shoot us an email. We'll be glad to assist and take care. Oh, we got some more questions coming in. I'm sorry. How long is the course exactly? I missed some of the information. Sure. So the course, if you do 4 lessons a week, it's about 27, 29 lessons in there. So if you do 4 lessons a week, you'll be done in 7 weeks. Now, you may be the type that you can like binge the course and knock it out in shorter time than that, but we recommend about 4 lessons a week.
Yeah, to digest and ask us questions on any area.
Yeah.
Leave the questions about.
All right, guys. All right, so thanks for attending, and you guys take care. Have a great evening. Bye.